Hi, I'm Kendall with the Chillicothe Cavaliers Coaches Corner. Today, we welcome back CHS head football coach Doug Pryor. Hi, Coach.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Getting right into it, last week your team fell 28-17 to Taze Valley in your home opener. What did you learn from that game to help the Cavaliers as they move forward to Game 2?
Well, I think it's, last week after the game when the dust settles and you watch film, and I think we realized even before we watched the film that obviously the goal is to win the game, and you're frustrated, you feel badly for the kids because they work so hard, and so basically you look for that silver lining in a loss. So it's one of those situations where when a team wins, you try not to get too high up, and try to keep fighting to work the fundamentals and keep the team focused and working hard, right? When you lose, obviously you got to go back and tighten up some things. And the silver lining though last week, even though we lost, was a lot of people. There were some young players out there, some first-time starters, and we realized who really could play. And a lot of people revealed themselves, and I thought it was a great showing by some of the younger guys or some of the first-time starters. And obviously some people were banged up or needed a rest, and we were able to rotate some guys in that performed well. So I think happy with the, if you could say that about a loss, happy with the effort. Obviously we've got to play 4 quarters of football, and we'll take it to the next step.
What can you say about the captain's leadership starting from the game to a practice this week?
So, right after the game, the gentleman that you'll have tonight on the show, Brennan, Mankin, McCory, guys like that really, Carson Francis, Xavier Doss, Chucky Thomas, Tylen Scales, all of them very even-keeled, obviously not jumping for joy after the game, but they're like, guys, we got to really step it up in practice. Not that we're having, poor practices, but, week by week, you got to tighten it up. So I think they were really excited to get back to work. And they know that loss doesn't define us.
As a coach, you make adjustments. Are your adjustments on the extreme or smaller side?
You mean me personally, or just
Yeah.
Okay? Absolutely. This year I've been heavily involved in offensive play calling. So really, to be honest with you, it's kind of like a coordinating position by committee, because we all put our 2 cents in, and we are on the headsets, obviously talking all game long about especially if you have a 3 and out. You don't score, that sort of thing. You're struggling to move the football. Hey guys, what are you guys seeing up in the box? What suggestions do you have? Obviously, at the end of the day, I'll have the last word. But honestly, there's situations where I'll throw stuff at the people in the box and say, hey, what do you guys think about this play? As if I was in the box as well. So those are things that we're always looking to. I wouldn't necessarily call them extreme, but within a game, sometimes it's tough to make extreme changes because you have to do things that you've practiced, but you can make small tweaks here and there that can become give you extreme success because maybe the other team hadn't seen that on film.
Now, from an outsider's point of view, because I'm always around.
Sure.
To see the way the boys played on Friday night and how the seniors stepped up on the field and off the field was so extreme to me.
Sure.
You've got to be so proud of them senior boys stepping up the way they have, being positive even after halftime. That's crazy. Just the atmosphere from the first quarter and the second quarter, the third and the fourth, completely changed at halftime. So your guys' conversations that you guys have at halftime, how did that change the mentality of the team?
Sure. In that situation, it's 14-0 at halftime. So, you just try to be even kill, and really about business, rather than, because we knew that the effort was there. It was just about the execution. So, you just get on the board and you draw some things up to make some adjustments here or there, asking the kids more in-depthly, what do you see? What suggestions do you have at this point? As far as you guys are out there playing, how's this guy lining up? Will this play work in this gap? Those are the types of things that we evaluate at halftime because, that situation, the kids are fighting hard. Got a lot of guys going both ways. It does us no justice to come in there and rail on about the score. It's like, guys, there's a lot of football left. Even when it was 28-3, we're saying, guys, there's a lot of football left. We're starting to kind of move the ball a little bit. We just got to finish drives. So, we kind of took it as, hey, we got to start too late and we ran out of time. So I think that's what, just our demeanor as a staff, not just myself, as a staff of, guys, just you're going to get your breaks here in the second half. If you just keep go out there and battle, and things will start falling your way. So,
all right. Thank you, Coach, for joining us today. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Chillicothe's Coaches Corner. In the studio with us are Isaac McCory and Brennan Mankin. So, getting right into it, this week you look to place Willersburg at their place. How are you preparing?
Just working hard and getting what we need to get done. Just working hard in practice.
Yeah, getting them reps in practice and really stepping it up a notch.
This year you are captains. How do you handle being in the leadership position, and how do you feel about it?
I don't think of it differently. I just think of it as like being more looked up to, honestly.
Yeah, I feel I've been looked up to by my little brother, so I'm used to it, but I got to do the right thing so they know how to do the right thing.
After looking at this season's schedule, who are you most excited to play?
I don't have a certain team, but just hoping to win the FAC championship.
Jackson.
With it being senior year, how do you plan on leaving your mark at CHS?
By working hard and going hard every play.
Having my name be known by generations to come.
Now let's do a rapid fire question round. What song pumps you up before a game?
Brennan, you go first.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Seven Nation Army.
What's your favorite post-game snack?
McDonald's.
Animal crackers.
Who are you sitting next to on the away game bus ride?
Probably Xavier.
Myself.
How do you want to be remembered at CHS?
As a leader and a good player.
As a strong teammate and someone just to remember.
What is your favorite TV show to watch on game days?
Victorious.
SpongeBob.
Turf or grass?
Turf.
Turf.
Funniest person on the team?
Biggie Banks.
Maxwell.
What's your favorite part about Friday night games?
The fans being there cheering you on.
Yeah, the crowd. This is the best part.
Who's your number one fan in the stands?
My mom.
My mom and dad.
Brennan and Isaac, good luck this Friday. Up next, we will chat with members of our coaching staff. Don't go away. Welcome back to Chillicothe Coaches Corner. We're now joined by defensive coordinator, Coach BJ Adams, head coach.
Hey,
How long have you been with the program, and why did you want to become a defensive coordinator?
this is my sixth year coaching at Chillicothe. Why did I want to be a defensive coordinator? Well, it's kind of the job came to me, so it's one of those things that I guess just like with anything in football, they need a defensive coordinator. You step up and you just take it really serious. So.
Is there a difference in how the defense is practicing this week compared to last week?
I think so. So typically, and I think a lot of coaches say this across the board. Typically, from week 1 to week 2, typically it's your biggest game. So actually, I think we're actually practicing a little bit better. Which I think if you're gonna be a good team, I think you should be able to practice better in that second week.
Which guys are you looking to step up in the upcoming game against Willersburg?
Really just a whole. No one person in particular. Just more so executing, more so just having assignment football. And I think if we have assignment football, we'll really have plays there to make. So.
How confident are you in this week's gameplay?
I'm confident every week, right? So this is one of those things where I'm only not confident if I feel like we're not practicing very well, no matter who the opponent is, right? So, but I think on the basic level, though, if we practice well, I feel confident. So I think this is one of those weeks where I feel confident.
What do you have to say about the outsiders saying this team being young or not the same as last year?
Well, I suppose everyone has the right to their opinion. I suppose. I don't worry about that. My job is to make sure that, from a schematic football sense, that we're schematically sound. So everybody has the right to their opinion. Whether they're right, whether they're wrong. So, but I don't worry about any of that stuff. So they can kind of say what they want to, I suppose.
Is the game prep different from being home than away?
Nah. The only thing that the only thing that we know from, I guess, as Willersburg as a whole is we know that Willersburg, we know it's going to be rowdy, which it's cool, right? It's a nice high school environment. We're going to be rowdy too, so I think that. But in regards to preparation, we just worry about X's and O's, and we don't worry about that.
As a coach, how big is the chip on your shoulder to get these guys ready for game day?
No chip. Just for me, in my mind, it's always all business. So the big thing is that Coach Pryor brought me here to do a job, and my job is to make sure these guys are as sound and playing as best as they can. So I guess if it's a chip, I guess it's the same chip every week. Probably not a big one, but it's the same one every week. So I don't worry about all that.
Coach Adams, thanks for joining us this week. Coming up, we'll be joined by Coach Pryor to get a look into this week's game at Willersburg. Stay tuned. We're back with head coach Doug Pryor. Hi, Coach.
Hey.
So this week we're on the road to Willersburg. What can you tell us about their style of play?
Obviously Willersburg is always a physical team. They have some very good athletes on the offensive side of the ball. They look to spread you out, but they can also form a power running game. So they're very versatile on offense, and defensively they give you a couple different fronts, disguise their coverages very well in the secondary. And just a very, very sound football team. Obviously, last week they lost to a very good Ironton team, 40-6. But after watching the film, they're in that game for the first half. They just I think after a while, were overpowered a bit by the size of Ironton. And Ironton was a more just seasoned. I think they have a lot of returning players and things of that sort. And they're the state runners-up for Division 5, I believe. So, obviously both programs. It's a rivalry game. So I think, Willersburg showed a lot of fight in that. And, we're going to get all they can handle and give out on Friday.
How well have your players adjusted in moving forward from reflecting on the loss and now moving forward to the future?
I think Coach Adams said it earlier, the guys have had a great week of practice. Every coach has just come up, and obviously as the head coach, I really scrutinize things, their effort, their attitude. Are we doing things the right way? Are we as a staff doing things the right way to set the kids up for success? And so I'm very, very, I wouldn't say impatient, but I'm very humble when it comes to how we practice and So when you have the coaches keep saying, hey, coach, I think we got some great work in today, even, the players at times, coach, we're getting in some good reps. Let's keep this up, like, in the middle of practice, when we switch from working on one side of the ball to the other, and the guys are acting like coaches on the field, and, they're trying to keep everybody poised and ready and just keep the process rolling.
What do bus rides usually look like? Quiet or relaxed chatter?
We had a trip for a quad scrimmage up to Westerville Central High School, and it was one of those things where I think as the team, we moved closer towards the school. Guys were a little bit more locked in when you first arrived to the field house that morning, which was fine. I was actually excited because it was around 7 in the morning or so. The guys were pretty chatty, which to me is great because that just means they're ready to go. I'd rather them be chatty at that point rather than sluggish and look like they only got 2-3 hours of sleep or something the night before. So in that instance, yeah, I mean, we've only had one trip, and by that I think it was a great trip. We didn't have to get on guys about trying to move out of their seat or getting too kind of getting a little bit too rambunctious back there.
Coach Pryor, thank you for your time and good luck this Friday.
Thank you.
That'll do it for this week. Kickoff is at 7 at Willersburg. For the Chillicothe Cavaliers Coaches Corner, I'm Kendall Cheek. Until next time.